probably be back to you. As we said, this is kind of a perpetual process of, as we wind down, you can see we're about almost 89% now in terms of payments of the total budgeted amount. And as we continue, we'll probably be back to you a couple more times to just, as we start to fine tune that down in terms of moving and reallocating some funds to allow us to continue to do the work and spend out the balance of the funds on the projects that are remaining. So any questions on those? Okay. We continue to process change orders, get those into the state. One piece that I wanted to just point out was that as part of the project, we had these early aid start requests that were a part of our plan. When a project goes beyond a certain amount of time as planned, then we can submit to the state and ask that aid become available sooner or start to flow the reimbursement back to the district. Pleased to say that we now have early aid start approvals in place for all of the buildings that we anticipated getting them for. So that's a good thing. And now it's a matter of just following up and getting our final cost reports formally issued when we complete the jobs. So closeout continues on the buildings that you see listed there: Blodgett, Grant, Huntington, Ed Smith. We're very close on all of them, just trying to get the fine details and get final sign off on each of them. In terms of construction updates, the Fowler interior package continues there, looking towards October, November here to get things dialed down over there. The concession storage building, we anticipate turnover here in November to hand that off. Corcoran, essentially we're down to some change order work over there and dialing down punch list, working towards end of the year for that as well to get that one dialed down. Henniger, as you know, will continue. It will go out until fall of 22, but we're working our way through items over there in terms of the renovation. You can see the picture of the library renovation is the center picture in the top up there on the right hand side. So that's where we're focused our efforts, that and the new main office. Nottingham locker room reconstruction's ongoing. We anticipate that again by November here, that we'll have that put back together. Clary is, for the most part, punch list, and it's not a lot left there in terms of completing the punch list. Elms, we continue. That's been an area, as we said before, with the foundations that's been a bit problematic, but I think at the end of the day, you'll be better for it having the foundations. The impact to that, though, is that it has impacted our ability to advance the work on the inside until we get the building stabilized and allow that work to continue. So that has pushed a bit. In terms of the original plan was to reoccupy in December there. It looks like that we won't be reoccupying that until January, beginning of February to make that transition back in. So Danforth, again, we're largely, we have a couple of material items that we're still outstanding on, some terrazzo treads for the stair replacements, a couple things lingering, largely working on punch list items over there. I think the piece that was making us have some concern over there, but largely was the boiler. I'm happy to report that we've got a boiler up, and as of Monday, we had a boiler up and operational, have the ability to produce heat in the building, and fired the second. There's 3 total. There was an existing and then 2 new. Fired the second one, and then working our way towards obviously finishing all the controls and getting everything completed over there for that. So appreciate the team's efforts on that one. That was a big push to get that in and get it functional. So under the constraints and critical issues, I think we've spoke to most of those. As I mentioned, the boiler reactivation at Danforth. Nottingham, we are dealing with, we have a meeting actually on tomorrow. Tomorrow. We've got a lot of hot and cold spots, if you will, in the building that we're trying to run to ground. One of the challenges that we have there is that the new work that we've done is on digital controls. The existing temperature control system that was there is largely pneumatic. During the course of a phased renovation like that, there's been disturbances to some of the existing pneumatic piping that causes problems downstream. So we've been chasing issues over there. So we're going to have a meeting on Friday to try and bring that to at least get all the issues on the table and work through that. So we spoke to the Elms in terms of the foundations, And the Henniger piece, again, we're focused on Henniger. We're into that lower level now, and the next critical path there is to get the cafeteria work, the renovation of the lower level and creation of the lower level cafeteria, to get that done, and that is something that we're watching because it's been trending behind at the moment. So that's pretty much what I had here. Any questions?
Are we on task for the library at Henniger and the office area?
Yeah, our greater concern right now is that cafeteria, is getting that ready for turnover. That's our focus. The library is moving along, yeah, but we're staying very, very focused on all the activity over there. So.
Thanks.
Questions for Chris? You're off the hook.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Keep up the good work. All right, next up, we have our financial summary, and Donna is making her way up to the mic. Morning, Donna.
Good morning, everybody. We have our short financial summary this month, and it is for the month of August. So we just have the one pager. Some of the highlights for this month were just the interest earnings. We had vendor payments approved and paid in August. And we also ended the month with $49.1 million in cash and $77 million in fund balance. So to start with, I'm going to start on the cash inflows. We currently obviously don't have anything for the state aid intercept or the federal subsidy, but we did earn $626 this month in interest. The year-to-date column reflects the activity for August, totaling $2,033, and that does include this month's as well. The projected for fiscal year 2022 is $34,427,000, and that does include the state aid intercept along with the federal subsidy that we're expecting next month and April. The cash outflows, the current monthly activity does include the $5 million in construction payments and $485,000 in incidental payments, for a total of $5.5 million. The year-to-date that we paid in July and August together is $10.5 million for construction and $910,000 in incidentals. So our projected for fiscal year 2022 is going to be $44.6 million for construction, $3.7 in incidentals. We anticipate $34 million payments in debt service and also $766,000 in federal subsidy. The graph at the bottom provides a visual for the total projected cash inflows of $34.3 million in orange. The year-to-date cash inflows of $2,033 does not appear in the blue because it's such a small amount. And the projected cash outflows year-to-date is $11.5 million in the blue, and in the orange, the 71.71 cash outflows, projected cash outflows for 2022. And that concludes my report. Does anybody have any questions? No?
Donna.
Okay.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you, Donna. Okay, so we've got 4 resolutions, so Joe, why don't you walk us through them?
Yes, thank you. The first resolution would be our monthly payments for the various contractors, resolution number 31.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 32 would be our amendment to the comprehensive plan to reallocate funding to Danforth and Expeditionary Learning School in the amount of $350,000 total, taking it from Fowler.
So moved. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 33 would be an amendment to Pack and Associates contract at Danforth Middle School to increase their construction contingency budget by $150,000.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? carried.
And finally, resolution number 34 would be an amendment to the Huber Brewer construction contract at Clary and Expeditionary to increase their construction contingency budget by $100,000.
Second?
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
That completes our resolutions for today.
All right. That was an efficient meeting. Any other business to come before the board? Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everybody.